Let's look at 5 steps to deal with triggers. I'm trying to make it simple because triggers can be so activating, right? And don't you hate it when all those feelings, thoughts, and internal experience are just blowing us up inside, creating mayhem? So here are the 5 steps. One, the first step is often the most important one, to pause. To be able to put that wedge into the experience so everything that's getting rolled in, that trigger that's happening, we can pause for a moment. How do we do that? Maybe take a breath, maybe stop and just pause, maybe feel the ground, feel something hot or cold. We're trying to cut the triggered response. Once we have a pause in there, we can begin to see what happened. What happened before I got triggered, or what happened in the trigger? Maybe it was something external that happened. Maybe something somebody said, or a sound we heard, or an image we saw, or something we tasted or felt. And once we can identify that in the pause, then we can do the second step, which is to name the trigger. And if you can then take some time and write it down, make a note to yourself, maybe note the time of day, what you were doing. This is a way to actually link in and ground the trigger, so it's not just something that's happening to you, but you can begin to see, oh, this is what happens. To name the externals out there, begin to pay attention to what's going on inside. Once we name the outside, the internal experience then are linked, and so we're looking at how are they linked so we can begin to unlink them and shift that pattern. So that happens by slowing down and tracking moment by moment to name the sensations, and the sensations are different than the thoughts or the feeling. It's also in both of my books, Becoming Safely Embodied, also in Attachment-Based Yoga and Meditation for Trauma. And in the BSE book, I actually walk you through an exercise about sorting out triggers. It's a very helpful way. So the third step to this is to drop the storyline. And we're not even aware of how much we put a story into the whole experience. But when things happen, we create a story about it. And it's so instantaneous, it goes on all over the place. The more we tell that story, the richer and more entrenched it becomes, which of course makes it more difficult to let go. It feels more real the more we tell the story over and over and over again. So one of the best practices we can learn in dealing with our triggers is learning to drop the story, drop the content, so we can be with what's there in its essence. And then we can begin to notice, okay, that thought is there, the feeling is there, and all these sensations go with that. And suddenly things start making more sense. And then we can choose. It's hard to believe sometimes, but we can start choosing our experience instead of being in it, catapulted into it. So the fourth step is to resonate with it. Now that we've slowed down and paused and named what's going on, drop the storyline, we can begin to see, oh, this happened here, and what is it connected to? That's where we can take a breath, slow down even more, and begin to see what's resonating inside. Because that's where we begin to go underneath the trigger and see how things got encoded, and see if there's something more wanting to emerge. And then the fifth step is learning how to rise, crest, and fall. Because everything in life rises, crests, and fall. Everything does. We all change, we grow, develop, and flourish. And yet life can happen so quickly at times that we don't even pay attention to this movement that goes on. But when we do, we begin to see, oh yeah, it's big, but it's maybe it came on slowly, maybe it was rapid fire, but somehow there was a beginning, a middle, and an end. Sometimes it takes a period of time, but then we learn how to break it down into smaller little ripples to see how life moves through. The more we can pause, name, drop the storyline, resonate with it, and begin to rise, crest, and fall, we have a greater experience to move through life instead of being caught by it. I hope this was helpful. Let me know how I can refine it further. Send me a note, drop a comment below so that I can keep helping you. Thanks.